Welcome to this video. It's come to my attention that virtual reality, VR, the entire VR industry is in danger because there hasn't been enough interest shown by the mass consumer population enough to make it, I guess, a viable venture. We could take a look at some current articles that are out there in 2019. So we see here, this was in January. VR gets reality check with significant decline in investment. So I guess the investors aren't seeing the return they had hoped on. It says here, a few years ago, virtual reality was all the rage in Hollywood, helping to fuel the rise of Silicon Beach with the promise of reinventing the entertainment business. I still believe in that. But at its peak, investors pumped $253 million into 24 deals involving virtual and augmented reality startups in LA and Orange counties in 2016, hoping that pricey headsets projecting virtual worlds will become as popular as smartphones. Here's another article from June 20th, 2019. The fall and rise of VR, the struggle to make virtual reality get real. Virtual reality has been the next new thing for 5 years and counting. Clunky headsets, a dearth of content, and lack of consumer interest have caused VR to stall. Can this much hyped technology finally catch on? So this isn't too long ago. This was in June. I brought my VR headset and showed it to as many people as I could. It's been a mixed thing. A lot of people, this is the Oculus Go, by the way. This is not the only VR headset. There are many different kinds. This isn't even the latest offering by Oculus. I think they have the Oculus Quest now. I recommend, and there's another model they also have. If you don't have VR, you really should try it out. This is a really good option. It's $199. But when I brought it around, I saw a lot of people that were in their 50s or older, between 50 and 70, or maybe 45 to 70. They thought it looked silly, it looked nerdy. They also didn't like that it was a closed environment, that they felt like it blocked them out from everybody else. Other people got dizzy by it. Some people they felt claustrophobic. So there's been a lot of reasons why. Let's see some of the health dangers here, or health risks. Anxiety. The immersive nature of virtual and augmented reality can induce stress or anxiety after wearing a full occlusion headset for more than a few minutes. Nausea. Some people who use VR headsets complain of dizziness and nausea. Eye strain. My wife experienced the eye strain last night, and she looks at her iPhone all the time. I get sick when I look at the iPhone. And I have no problem using the Oculus Go unless I'm like on a roller coaster. But for casual viewing, this is like the best product for me. And I do suffer from motion sickness and nausea, but I don't get nauseated with the Oculus Go, amazingly. So some people use VR headsets, complain of dizziness, nausea, eye strain. VR headsets can cause severe eye strain among users. So there's all that working against VR. And if you're using those VR headsets where you put your cell phone in it, I tried like 3 different models of that, and all 3 of the models I tried all made me extremely motion sick and nauseated. But the Oculus Go, this model here, has been tremendous for me, because when I tried, I went low cost as the ones where you put the cell phone in, just to try it out, just to see if it impacted me, and it did, and I was so disappointed. And then I said, I'm going to give this one more try. I bought the Oculus Go because the Oculus Go was presented as like a consumer device, not necessarily for gaming, but for consuming entertaining content. And it really is. So now, why haven't you purchased a VR headset yet? Was it the cost? Was it that you just don't care? Is there not enough advertising and marketing to make you care? Because, the beginning with the Oculus Rift, it was kind of like an internal community. It didn't go out enough. And then when Facebook bought it, that seemed to really kill momentum. Do you get motion sick? Do you think it's only for gaming? There's a lot more uses for VR. It's not just for gaming. But the gaming is cool. Are you uncomfortable wearing it? I will say that, like, prolonged wearing this, like, my nose starts to hurt a little bit, but the experience is so tremendously awesome that I don't care about that. Do you think it makes you look silly? I saw that, wearing, for people that care about fashion and how they look, they think this looks really stupid. I think it looks futuristic and cool. And, if you've been in there, you know how cool the experience is. So I don't think it looks silly. I think it's like, man, that person's having a good time right now. And it doesn't make you claustrophobic. And there's a couple other reasons why some people are scared of the dark. I think VR is, when I first put it on, I was like, oh my God, this is the next thing. And it's just a matter of getting people to put it on and try it. I just don't think enough people have tried it. I think the marketing and advertising could have been better. I use it mostly to watch YouTube VR. YouTube has their own VR app in it. and there are hundreds, if not thousands of 360-degree videos, well produced, inside the YouTube VR application. And I have hundreds of applications in my Oculus Go. I love this thing. This thing is moderately priced. This is $199, $249 for the expanded version. Again, there's the Oculus Quest. That's a little bit more. If I was to buy it again, and now the Quest didn't exist when I got the Go, I'd get the Quest now. It's a little bit more expensive. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, I recommend getting the Oculus Go just to see if it's for you. Like I said, there's so much going on in this Oculus Go. I love it. But it's also a tool. If you're into science and alternative science, 360-degree photography, time-lapse photography, tracking, like if you like to track the moon over the course of a month or a year or even a week, or if you're into tracking the sun, and if you have a camera that has like a motorized thing that could follow a target, you could get, and even with the stars, you could get amazing panoramas of the patterns that all the objects in the sky go on. And it's incredible to look at it in 360, especially if you can capture and evaluate the data that you get. You see some amazing things. Not only that, for traveling, there's a lot of places that you may want to travel in the world, but you may not feel safe traveling there. There's 360-degree videos made by the people that live in those countries, and they've uploaded them. And so it's a great way to virtually travel to a lot of places and feel like you're really there. There's a Google Maps app. It's not called that. It's called Wander. You literally can go to wherever Google Streets goes and feel like you're walking in the street. I mean, it's not 100% perfect, but it's way better than anything I've ever seen on a two-dimensional flat screen monitor. Science. There's so much science that could be learned through this. There's an excellent chemistry app in the VR headset. There's also an excellent anatomy app. And more, if there was more adoption, the training and learning abilities through VR are endless. Educational opportunities. You could even hold classes in VR. And not only that, chatting. So if I don't have enough people that do it, but when you put this on, there's speakers and there's also a microphone. So you can do much better than video chatting. You could do VR chatting. And you could also watch games, watch movies. There's all these apps where you meet up with people. You can watch movies, TV shows, just chat in general. You can watch live events. So there's a social network aspect to this, and just the total immersion is incredible. So if you haven't tried VR, this may be your last chance to do it. People need to start showing. If people don't show enough enthusiasm for this technology, I think investors are just going to pull the plug on it, and that will be a complete shame because we haven't even gotten even close to the potential of what virtual reality can do. This is the future, in my opinion. It's more than just for gaming. Like I said, it's a complete immersion experience, and the possibilities literally are endless. There's so much more you could do with something like this than we can do with any of the technology that we have. It would be a real shame to lose VR. So I don't know what we could do at this point. I don't know if the ship's left the dock, but if you wanted to get in on VR, do it now or never, because who knows what's going to happen. Just remember, the 3D television, when they saw there was no interest in it, I mean, do you see any 3D TVs for sale now? Now it's just 4K, 8K. You don't see too many 3D TVs or even curved TVs. All right, so anyway, thanks for watching this presentation. I left a link in the description below to purchase the Oculus Go. It's the one that I have. I like it. I also put one for the Oculus Quest. There's also tons of other models out there, so feel free to explore the offerings. And I don't know what we can do to keep VR alive. I hope it doesn't go away, but it's in danger. Thanks for watching.